Hello, and welcome to the panel Building Diverse Communities Inside Horizon. I'm your moderator, Lisa Kotecki, and I've been here at Facebook since 2017 and have been working in social VR in some way, shape, or form since 2015. I'm excited to meet with our panelists today, who you'll meet in a minute. In today's exploration, we'll meet with 3 community builders from different backgrounds and skill sets building community inside Facebook Horizon. We'll hear their inspiration, their motivations, some of their takeaways for the listeners. It's our hope that you listen to them, hear their stories and background, and it sparks ideas for your own community building efforts and helps uplevel you as a creator, whether it be a community builder, an event creator, a game creator, a storyteller, or a world builder. And while this isn't a live participatory session, we'd love for you to participate in the comments and hear your stories and best practices after listening to some of these panelists for inspiration. So before we turn it over to meet some of them, I want to talk table stakes that inspired us to come together today. The next computing platform will be powered by AR and VR to revolutionize the way we collaborate in the workplace, socialize, or engage in recreational activities, to name a few. And to help that, community is really a principal cornerstone, whether it be through workplace collaboration, such as using Horizon Workrooms, gameplay such as using Echo VR or Beat Saber, or socializing in Horizon. It's the ability to come together with others that brings meaning, as well as fuels the ecosystem. So this brings us to the heart of our talk, building communities inside Horizon. We've been building communities for quite some time, and we're going to continue to roll out. So I wanted to sit and talk with a few folks behind the experience. So now I turn it over to you, the panelists. Do you mind introducing yourself, who you are, and what kind of a creator you are inside Horizon?
Hello, my name is Ashley. I go by Ashes2 in Horizon. I'm a creator, collaborator, and community builder in Horizon with the mission of creating an inclusive and safe community for all.
Hi, I'm Paige Dansinger, Better World Museum in Horizon. I believe that world building is community building. I've been in Horizon from the beginning. I'm the founding director of Better World Museum, Horizon Art Museum, and Women in Horizon. As part of the first Horizon minigame accelerator, my mission has been to use Horizon to create more resilient individuals, groups, and communities. I love building worlds and games that help make a better world.
Hi everyone, my name is Carlos, but people in VR call me Oculos. I'm an event creator and world tour curator in Horizon. I've been a part of Horizon since February 2021. I've dedicated a majority of my time in Horizon thinking of new ways to make fun and welcoming experiences for new and returning players through world-building collaboration and World Tour's community event. Check your Horizon menu for up-and-coming events and join us every Wednesday.
Thank you so much for being here. And one thing that is so striking with everybody who's introduced yourself is that the definition of creator is so broad. It can include being an event curator like you are, Oculos. It can include being a digital storyteller like you are, Paige, or some of the groups that you've created, or like you, Ashes, where it's really the worlds that you create that build community. So I'm curious, did each of you set out to be a community builder?
Oh, yes. I definitely set out to be a community leader. My experience before Horizon in the Facebook Community Leadership Program and as founder of Better World Museum and Global VR Garden taught me to use creative technology as a tool for placemaking, for developing diverse and youth leadership roles, and creating inclusive platforms that are of, by, for all, and created with the next generation. When Horizon was first introduced, I believed it was created specifically for me to build more resilient communities.
So for me, in an unconscious part of my mind, I think I did. My first published world is titled The Blue House. And for me, it was all about having a safe place to meet up and hang out. And I know in VR, finding a safe place, like others have said, is kind of like a hard thing to do. So I scripted little tasks, and added a security system to help make the place feel welcoming and safe. I started to hear feedback from people who used my world, and for that purpose, I think, and they thanked me for just having like a place to bring people who are new to VR to hang out and to learn the tools. So I think being able to fill that community need felt great, and I hope to continue to like find other needs like that to fill.
I actually didn't. My first thought when I joined Horizon was to just find new worlds to visit and how to meet new people. In other games, it's pretty difficult to make friends organically, and I would just get random friend requests from people I didn't even know. I was really hoping just to find worlds I enjoyed and meet people along the way, but it was clear from these mini tours I was giving in the plaza, it could become something bigger and for more people to enjoy and to give them a better first experience, and it just kind of grew from there.
And we're so lucky that you've done that. It's such a beautiful contribution to Horizon, which honestly brings me to something else I'm curious about, which is what had you choose Horizon? What was maybe one of the most enticing things that had you decide this was going to be your place to build community?
For me, it was discovering worlds, connecting with people, and world building. To me, one of these alone is like great, but when you start layering in the other two, you really start to feel like the magic of the community here in Horizon. So that is like the really enticing part for me.
What was so enticing for me was the idea that 15 primitive shapes, gizmos, and simple block scripting could potentially be the building blocks of creating more intentional worlds, more harmony, and more peace. That we could use these simple blocks and shapes as the new reshaping of the future world, and we have the potential to make it better for more people.
For me, it's the worlds in the world building. You can search pretty much anything in the world section, and if it doesn't exist, you can create it. If you find inspiration in a world and you want to make something similar, you can. And even above that, the community is just what brings me back every single time.
I really hear a through line in everything that you've said. It's two parts. It's both being able to be a part of building, and which is a lot of the core of what being a part of a metaverse is. And then on the other hand, it's also then exploring or connecting and being with others. And I know sometimes a lot of creators who don't identify as a builder or feel intimidated to even start. So I'm curious if you have any advice for somebody who's wanting to dive in and start to use the creation tools.
Yeah, totally. So my advice would be to start simple and add complexity as you go. With scripting and building, we have this tendency to have a great grand idea of what we want to accomplish, but our skills aren't always there yet. I say break things down to their simplest part, master that, then add the next layer on. And if you can, try to work with someone else who's more experienced than you. But again, take it really slow. Don't hesitate. Don't like frustrate yourself with not getting things right away, and just enjoy the process that is learning.
That's such great advice for anything in life, honestly, Ashes. Just take things down to their smallest component part and just take on one step at a time. Thank you.
I really agree with Ashley. My advice is to make friends with failure. Creating and playing games embraces iteration, failing forward, risk, and reward. Make friends with people who are also passionate about Horizon and creating together. Think of every shape as an opportunity to make something incredible or connecting. There's nothing holding you back, not even gravity in Horizon, from creating your dreams.
I got to agree with Ashley and Paige on this. The creation tools are just really easy to work with, and they're really easy to help you get started.
Thank you all for that great feedback and advice. I'm also curious if and how collaboration might impact how you go about starting to create, whether it be an event or a storyline or a community group or a world?
For me, collaboration has helped open my eyes to possibilities and has like grown my skills in ways that would not be possible on my own. I think my creation style has evolved with each friendship I've made in Horizon, and I love the worlds I've been invited to collaborate on because the world is like a shared vision created by a group of people with very different life experience, and yet we're able to like blend and work so well together. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything quite like that outside of VR.
I love co-creating, and I believe that co-creating and skill sharing creates a stronger connection, a human bond, and a sense of social stewardship in Horizon. During the deepest part of the pandemic, Horizon Art Museum developed the Plus Community Voices program to amplify new women and diverse members. Collaborating with a partner during the minigame accelerator program taught me so much. It taught me to be a better game designer and a community leader. I learned how to listen more, communicate much better, and design smarter because I was listening and learning new methods and perspectives. These life skills are important for problem solving with people in positive, stressful, or emergency situations. I loved the feeling of learning something new. So naturally, I prefer to build collaboratively. Perhaps collaborative world building should be an area of research, and possibly our stories today are those seeds.
Without collaboration, the world tours and the tours event wouldn't even exist. If you remove just one collaborator from a world, it loses that magic that makes it special. If you talk to someone about their world, one of the first things they say is, so-and-so did the scripting, I just built the map, or I can't sculpt very well, so I had someone else create the characters of my world. We really do make better worlds with others as opposed to working alone. I myself am the opposite of a scripter, and through collaboration, I was motivated to write my first script. So-and-so might have worked on this part and someone else voiced this character and I just did this and this. You know, there's so many creators and it's so humbling, and I'm so gracious for those creators who want to share the credit with their world and their world successes.
I love what you just said because it really also drives home you don't have to be a master at every little piece of what it means to create an experience. You can have one skill set and then recruit others that have other complementary skill sets and learn from each other and grow together, as well as have that be a foundation for your community building experience. And so I just see this weaving in and out of the conversation here between, on the one hand, being a creator and the other being a community builder. In a lot of ways, they're very interchangeable. So coming back into the community building component, I'm curious if you have any lessons learned or advice that you want to give to anybody tuning in that is an aspiring community builder.
Make friends, find others to collaborate with on your worlds and do the same for them. I've been a part of so many incredible worlds, and I can't imagine what my worlds would look like without their help. If you take away just one collaborator from a world, it loses a huge piece of what makes it so special.
I would say, yeah, be yourself. Horizon is created by a community of authentic, wholehearted people. Allow yourself to feel connected and cared about by the community members in Horizon. Share group selfies with your friends every chance you can, and especially when you're meeting a new friend.
I totally agree with that. My advice would be you won't always get it right, and not to give up when you get it wrong. Just learn from it. If you're prepared for setbacks and give yourself permission to get things wrong, you'll find it easier to keep going until you get it right.
Everything everybody said about collaboration, great wisdom. Thank you. Every single response we got here really talks about how the heart of what you do is about coming together, bringing people together, regardless of the activity. And I'm wondering if you happen to remember, when's the first time you felt that magic?
I really had an special experience feeling the magic of Horizon. I had the opportunity to be in Horizon really early. And as it opened up and more women joined and they were communicating and connecting and building together, that's when the magic happened for me. It was amazing. It was amazing to see women building and creating and empowering each other.
For me, it was abduction deduction by waffle copters. I found this world by, accident, just exploring the worlds tab. And the first time I went in there, I was so frustrated because I didn't know really how to interact with things, and I was new to Horizon, so I'm just pushing buttons and sliding things around. And so I just left. And then I came back the next day, and I saw somebody was in that world, so I decided to join them. Well, just so happened that person was already solving puzzles and figuring things out, and they pretty much shared with me that you're not just interacting with these buttons and sliders and these small little tasks, but you can use the entire world to really explore and find the clues in order to solve each individual puzzle. So after I discovered that, this is kind of like the birthplace of where tours started, because I started hanging out in the plaza and taking people to that world. And then as people got stuck, kind of give them a little hint here and there and just nudge them along. And just the payoff of seeing people celebrating and high-fiving and just being able to solve all of the puzzles to get to the end result, that was so rewarding that it just inspired me to take it further.
That's such a great origin story for how your events became about and how you started your community building experience. So I'd love to know also, what keeps you coming back time and time again?
It's the people. Seriously, it's true. The actual community here in Horizon. After starting the World Tours event, people would come back week after week and they would tell me how much fun the last Tours event was, or the Intro to Horizon World taught them something new, and many have now published their own world. It's so rewarding to be able to share what I love about Horizon, but it's even more rewarding to see that positive experience motivating them to make their own world for others to enjoy.
For me, it's the what's next that brings me back into Horizon, whether that's what's next for me to learn or what's next for me to discover, and it's like, who haven't I met yet? There's so much happening in Horizon that it's too hard to not worry about missing something.
What I learn and accomplish in Horizon is rewarding. What's next? As part of the 2021 Oculus Launchpad program, I will make a community garden farm game focusing on growing financial sustainability and skills for more women. I'm gray boxing the entire game and experience now in Horizon. It allows me to really use my skills and push them further.
And getting stuck is definitely a part of any kind of creative process as well. So as one of our final thoughts and questions that we leave here today with, I'm curious if any of you have advice for people who are feeling stuck in their own creative process.
When you're stuck creatively or when you're stuck scripting or building, I think it's best to take a step back and go somewhere else, like go on a world hop or go help a friend with their project, because like changing your environment will help you change your perspective or whatever issue you're trying to work through. There's something about getting that problem off your mind that allows your subconscious to work on it for you, so that when you come back, you are able to tackle it with fresh eyes.
I agree. I completely agree. Go hop over and play a mini game or make a friend and help them out. But also, when you're focusing on your work, imagine those primary shapes as building blocks to create anything that you want to reshape or create in your world. The power is in you.
Yeah, I have to agree. If you get stuck, just leave the edit and just go explore. Go play a game. Just go and hang out in the plaza. Things to just take your mind off of that problem, and even go and help somebody else collaborate, because you might be able to tell them, hey, I'm struggling with this, and they might have a solution that'll just completely change the outlook of that world.
Ashes, Paige, Carlos, thank you so much for being here today. We've talked about so many different topics, from definition of a creator and all the different types of creating that are possible, to community building, to getting stuck in your creative process. So before we close out, I want to know if there are any last final thoughts that you have for everybody here today.
Yeah, I'd have something to share. So like during this talk, everything you've heard today is just like the tip of the iceberg of what's possible in Horizon. And I have this message to everyone who's interested in like coming to join us and play, that no matter your gender identity, your ethnicity, your age, your experience level, you can do it too. Like there's nothing that you see in Horizon that is outside of your reach. There are people here who want you here, and they want to help you. So be patient with the community as it grows, and be patient with yourself, because there are resources out there. For myself, I have worked with the Horizon creator community as well as the Women in Horizon, which are 2 Facebook groups, by the way. So you can use those 2 Facebook groups as a resource. And I definitely would invite everyone, if they would like to join, and check those resources out as well.
Thank you. Both groups are so essential. The Horizon creator community focusing on diverse members, and Women in Horizon focusing on intersectional women. My advice is that you and your voice and your community has a place in Horizon. You have the opportunity to create the future you really want. And building the future metaverse is better together. I also believe it's the ultimate tool for tackling the biggest challenges of our time. World building is community building. If you will it, it is no dream in Horizon.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Paige and Ash. I mean, those are incredible answers. I guess I could just close it out by saying, if you're in Horizon, check out your events tab, check out the attend tab, and join us. Join us for an event, join us in any of our worlds, and we welcome you to come hang out and explore with us.
Again, thank you for participating in today's session, and to all of you who took the time to tune in. And now I want to turn it to you, the audience, and hear about your experience. Let us know in the comments one takeaway or lesson learned that you may have for up and coming creators or community builders. Until next time, bye now.